Reframes customers, here's a short tutorial done by Charles, our service manager, on how to replace the controller that you just received in the mail, taking out the one from your old light and putting it into your new light. We're going to use, for example, today a Lumentek 240. However, this is applicable to a 120, a 180 model, or a 240 model. The parts you will need are the controller you received, and please send us back the one that you took out of your light or you're about to take out of your light. A screwdriver with a Phillips head, whether it's small or you use a power driver, and be sure, absolutely sure, to unplug the light before you start. So we have already removed the external screws on the case of this 240, and now Charles is going to open it up and start the tutorial. I'll turn this over to Charles. Charles, show him how to do it.
Alright, so you're going to want to be careful here opening this up. Make sure the controller is facing down and the back of it is facing you, and you'll just prop it open, and there will be a few tight cords that you want to make note of where they go, so you plug them back into the right spot. So do that with a marker or whatever you need to do, a piece of tape. I remember, so I'm not going to. I have this one marked because I know that's the blue channel. You want to unplug all those. And this is a relay you'll want to unplug from the power strip. Again, make sure everything is unplugged from the wall, because this would be live power. And then you have your controller that you're replacing down here. And there's just a few connections. You just have to pop them out and just pop them right into the new one. So we're going to lay it out the same way. And I find this easiest to do before you replace it. So just, you pop that one out there. Pop it in the new one. Some of them are a little snug. Well, you want to remove that from the new one and replace it. And then make sure, so looking at it down from here, this is channel 1, channel 2, and channel 3. The layout is a little different on the new one, so just make sure you get these in the right channels. You want to take channel 1 and put it in channel 1 here.
Which is to the left,
to the
if you're
far
holding
left.
it in this way.
Channel 2.
Which would be in the middle of the new one.
And channel 3.
Which would be the right
over there.
Pop in.
And then we take
Great.
the little 2-pin and pop it there. And then you can just set that aside. So the most difficult part, depending on the size of your screwdriver, is getting these little screws out from the old controller. You got to do it at kind of an angle.
Okay, we've removed all the screws, or actually Charles has, from the old controller, and he's going to physically remove it from the case and set it aside.
Be sure to keep all your small screws.
Keep the screws. You need them to replace the new controller.
So you can just set that aside. Be sure to send it back.
Please.
And then
Okay, don't knock your case over. So
just had to have that wired funny, so go ahead and just line that right back in. It should pop just snug right in the old hole, and it should be perfectly aligned with the screws. And then you want to just screw that right back in like you unscrewed the old one.
And all the screws are in, holding the old controller, or new controller, excuse me, firmly in place.
Alright, then you'll just want to rewire it. Stick the relay wire back in the second port over here. And you want to plug your moon lights back in. And then you kind of have to angle this to get this plugged back in, because it's too short. And then make sure all wires are out of the way, and just close that back up. And from here, you'll just want to screw it back together, and you should be all set.
All right, once you have put all the screws in and everything makes sense, go ahead and plug it in using your aviator cord in the back, as Charles is doing here. And there you go. You are back in business.